Hello, I'm Toy Wilderness and welcome to the final episode in my 2018 G1 Ultra Magnus restoration series. Yes, over the last 12 months I've been doing a restoration on my tatty and worn out G1 Ultra Magnus that I've got, and it was missing all its parts, and I bought all the bits, and I've gone through the painstaking restoration where I've taken it, removed the old decals, taken it apart, washed and cleaned all the parts. I've then done some fixes for bits that are broken. I've also done a few mods. I've also fixed the sun fading because both the cab and the trailer were really badly affected by sun fading. And in this episode you're going to see me apply the repro labels and finish the job off. But before we get into that, there's a little issue I want to address in some comments that have been left in the previous episodes on this series, where one individual who I won't name, you know who you are, has been placing identical comments saying the same thing on individual episodes, putting a opinion across, and everyone's welcome to put their own opinion across, and I agree with the opinion that they're putting across, and yeah, I hold my hands up to it. Yes, I have been dragging this restoration series out longer than I needed to. I could have done it a lot quicker and a lot sooner, but when I first started this, my reasons for doing this the way that I've done it was mainly to provide additional regular video content for my channel over the course of the year. That's why I decided to split it up into 12 individual monthly videos, so that give you some more video content on my channel. That's the main reason why I've done it. Another reason why I dragged it out was the amount of time it took me to get the parts together, because G1 Ultra Magnus has no less than 12 parts or accessories that come with the basic cab and trailer unit, and I was missing all of them. So I had to go through this prolonged period where I had to search through eBay to get the parts, and I set myself a budget of £3 per part, which was difficult. I managed to get some parts early on, but later on I had to pay more money. But in a roundabout sort of way, I got all the parts I needed under the maximum budget I'd allowed myself for this, so that was good. But it still took me a long period of time. I mean, I've got a list of all the parts as I bought them, and it took me 127 days to get from when I paid for the first part to getting the last part that I needed, which was 18 weeks or 1 day, or 4 months, 2 weeks and 4 days, depending on which way you look at it. So that in itself took a long amount of time. So yeah, I could have done this a lot quicker. I could have waited till I got all the parts, and then I could have done either 1 or 2 videos where I just showed you quick clippets of the various stages of the restoration, and then boom, there's the finished article. But I decided to split this up, spread it over these many videos in this year-long series, and yeah, I hold my hands up to that. It was deliberate, but I could have done it quicker, but that's just the way I've done it, and I just wanted to let that known that it was totally deliberate the way I've done this restoration, and I wanted to show you the work that I've done in detail. So that's what I've done, and hopefully some people have been watching have seen some of the techniques and methods I've been using and are now applying them to restorations that they're doing on their own vintage figures. So with that out of the way, let's get into this final episode, and obviously it's putting the decals on. So let's have a look at that, shall we? Right, so here we are at the final working session on this Ultra Magnus restoration. That is the application of the decals, the repro labels. So I've got the cab unit and the trailer section here, and also the chest piece, because that has a couple of decals on it. Just push them back a minute. And obviously I've got the Toy Hax Reprolable sheet here. I've also got a couple of tools to help me. I've got my cartridge knife, I've got a cotton bud and a toothpick, which I'll be using to apply the decals. And I've also got the original G1 instructions, which I'm going to use as reference to as to where to apply some of the decals. So this is it. This is the final stretch. Now I think I'm what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to stick her up, show you one side, stick it up in real time, and then when I do the opposite side I'm going to speed it up. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I want to try and get this done as quickly as possible. Some of the decals that were applied to this toy from new they came applied from the factory, and then you've got a sticker sheet and you put the rest on yourself. Most notably on the cab unit it was the silver stripes around there. I think some of the Autobot symbols came pre-applied and stuff like that. So I've got a rough idea where the decals go, so let's get on with it, shall we? I think we'll do this piece first. So get the decal set, and it's these decals there. So what I do is I use my knife to get underneath one of the decals. And you press it down, and do the other one. And there we go. And there's the chest piece done. So I think we'll do the trailer section next. Right, so looking on the side, we've got a decal that goes up there on the arm, which is this one. Obviously the large Autobot symbol that goes on the side. I mean, I don't know if you can oh no, it's up here. You can just about see where the original one went from the sun fading. Okay. The bit on the back. Okay. And there's a decal that goes on the back here. So I think that's the one side of the trailer section stickered up. Oh no, I've missed one. Missed the one here. Right, so that's one side done. Let's go through, put the others on. Quick time. Okay, right, that's the trailer section done. Now to move on to the cab section. Right, here's the cab section. Again, do the same as I did last time. Do one side and then I'll speed it up. Stickers that goes into the legs. This little channel here. This is where you need the toothpick. one side done. Oh no, I haven't done the stripes, have I? Yeah. Yes, the silver stripes are the tricky bit. Let's do this little angular one first. Silver stripes. These are going to be fun. Go. Right, so on to the next bit.
Now on top, obviously this is where the rub symbol went. I had to remove the original rub symbol to get at the screw to remove the head, and we all know rub symbols are very fragile, and if you try to peel them off it basically ruins them, so you can't reuse them. Can't get reproduction rub symbols, so what I've decided to put on there instead is one of these textured Autobot sigils. So just get one of these. And just stick it over there. Like so. And then that covers up the hole. And there's one more sticker to apply. Right, so that's your lot. And finally the reveal. Here is the completed truck cab, white prime, and come out really well. I mean, I admit the re-chroming hasn't gone quite as well as I'd hoped. It's gone a bit grainy, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously I've just applied the decals. Treating the sun fading worked really well, and it looks awesome. Did a couple of mods. Painted the face because it was it's the later variant that has got the plastic tyres and unpainted head sculpts. So I painted the head with some difficulty. I've also applied some perspex to the cab front, some glazing to the front windows. That's some minor mods I did, and also I give it a head rotation by cutting off that little peg that holds the head in the front position. But yeah, it looks nice and white again instead of like that brownish tanny yellow. Yeah, so that's the truck cab all done. And there we have it, the completed Ultra Magnus. This is the first time I've actually put the thing together with all its pieces. So yeah, it's taken me 12 months, 12 episodes to get to this point, even though some might agree I've been taking a bit too long over that, but hey ho, that's just the way I flow. But yeah, it's complete. I've got me now a complete restored G1 Ultra Magnus. It's not perfect. There are a few minor issues that could be better. It's still got a little bit of damage on one of the shoulder joints for the rocket launchers. I think there's still a little bit of yellowing on the shoulder pylons. And obviously the repair I did for the shoulder joint to clip into the trailer, it's a little bit messy because the paint I used wasn't quite a perfect match. But all in all, I think, considering what I was working with, it's been a very successful restoration, and he looks great. He looks fantastic. And Ultra Magnus, as I said, is one of my favourite characters, and I've been meaning to do something with this figure because it's Ultra Magnus. It's the G1, and never had one as a kid, and had bits of one, so I decided to do something about it and make me a complete one, and I'm finally there. So yeah, here it is, spinning around in front of your eyes. One completed G1 Ultra Magnus restoration. Awesome.
And there you go. Showed you the video of me applying the decals and the final reveal of the completed figure. And here it is, all together, all nice and shiny, and fully restored. Now, it's not perfect. There are a few issues that, you know, on it still. One of them is, like I said, there's a bit of damage on there that needs, you could probably get a replacement part and address that. Some of the white plastic parts, especially these arm pieces, like on here, they look white in this video, but when you put them under, you know, genuine sunlight, they do still look a little yellow. They could probably do with a little bit of sun treatment on them. The repairs I did for the broken shoulder tabs is a little bit unsightly from certain angles, and the colour match for the paint blobs that I used to colour in the bits of plastic that I used ain't perfect. So it's got some minor little quibbles, minor little issues on it, but apart from that, it's still like 2000% better than what I started with, which was just the cab and the trailer. And I've done all the work, and it just looks amazing. Now, obviously, this restoration didn't come cheap, and I want to go into the facts and figures briefly. Now, I'm going to show you a screen now which breaks down the facts and figures briefly on a page, and I'll show you that now. And that's just a basic rundown of the costs that I've incurred while doing this restoration. Obviously, when I started off with the white cab unit, which I bought back in February 2015 from NEC Toy Fair, and I paid £5 for that. And then at the NEC Toy Fair in September 2016, I got the trailer section for £6. And then it was a case of looking on eBay, trying to find these parts for £3 per part, which was difficult. I mean, you could find some at that price, but the majority of them were more than that. Mainly because, you know, you can probably get the part itself for under £3, but then when you add the postage to it, it made it ridiculously expensive. So I bought, originally got a waist piece and a gun for £5.50. I got a small right hand fist for £2.99, chest piece for £2.99. Then Dean F-Stop Cornier donated the head sculpt to me for nothing, so thanks Dean for that. He gave me that for free, and then I ordered a launcher for £3.80, 2 missiles for £5.80 for the 2, another waist piece for £2.09, and then I bought a lot of parts which had some repeats of parts, you know, some duplicates of parts I already had, but some other parts that I needed, and it also came with the instructions book, so I got that as well, and that was £11.06 for those. And then the final part was £8.50 for the right fist, which was the only piece I needed, and then £7 for the repro labels. And as you can see, I've pretty much used all the repro labels up, and that was that. And the total cost of all those parts was £49.73, and obviously, and then the extra parts that I had left over, the 6 parts, the 6 duplicate parts I had, I sold them at TF Nation to Darren Finker from you know, who's been watching these videos and commenting on them. Thanks a lot, Darren. And I sold them to him for £10. So you take that off the price, and then it was £39.73. I paid for all the parts, plus the £11 for the starting pieces, and then the grand total was £50.73. Then there's the additional costs. So in the course of doing this restoration, I bought some additional bits and bobs, like 2 bottles of the J. Russell peroxide gel, you know, the hair dye stuff, which has got the peroxide gel in it, and they were £1.69 each. The display turntable, which I used for the reveal, I bought that. That was £20.10. And then there was the ultraviolet nail varnish drying machine that I bought, which cost a whopping £44.04. So yeah, but I can use these items for other things, so you can say yes or no, they were directly involved in the restoration of this figure. And that was £67.52 for those additional parts, and the grand total of everything is £118.25. So as I said in an earlier video, it's a bit of a fool's game, you know, spending all this money restoring this figure. I didn't need to go down that route. I could have said, I'm not going to bother restoring what I've got. I'm just going to go and buy another used complete Ultra Magnus. I mean, you can pick them up for about for about 35, 40, 45, 50 quid. Well, between sort of like 35 and 50 quid, you can get a good used complete G1 Ultra Magnus. So, you know, I could have saved myself some money and just bought another one, but I didn't. I wanted to restore what I got, and I went through all this trouble and time and effort and money to restore this thing back to what it is now. And you know what they say, it isn't the destination, it's the journey. And this figure, now that I've put all this effort into restoring it, it now means a lot more to me than it would have done if I'd have just bought it from somebody else. So yeah, it's now, you know, I mean, Ultra Magnus is one of my favourite figures, and it's now, you know, one of my prime sort of Magnus toys that I've got. And yeah, he's all done. He's pretty much all done. And if you've been watching this series, I thank you for watching. And yeah, so that's it. Now next year, I am planning on doing a G1 restoration next year. In fact, I've already been buying parts for it, which arrived the other day, and they're these. Now, if you recognise these, you know which figure these are from, you'll know which figure I'm talking about. I mean, this is a Paralyzo box gun, and this is a what is it? A null ray cannon or null ray rifle or something. Yeah, they're 2 of the accessories for another G1 figure that I've got in my collection, who I want to do a restoration on. I'm planning on doing that next year. I'm not going to drag that restoration out, you know, like, you know, dozens of different, individual monthly videos. I'm probably going to wait till I've got all the bits together, and then I'm going to do a short series where I do the restoration on it. So that's my plans for next year. But apart from that, that's me done with this particular restoration. I would say it's complete. It's finished. It's all done, and yeah, definitely looks the part for all the work that I've put into it. And if you've been watching this restoration series, I thank you. And I've been TFR Wilderness, and this is the final episode of my restoration series, Restoration Complete. Ta-da!